Welcome to the series of AI videos. Today we are going to look at ACP. ACP stands for Agent Communication Protocol. It's a protocol for communicating between agents. It uses HTTP and REST underneath. It's the layer underneath application layer and above the foundational model layer. It is developed by IBM. After ACP was released, Google also released A2A, which is agent to agent, which is an alternative protocol for communicating between agents. Uh, in contrast to A2A, ACP allows multiple agents per server. A2A needs one-to-one mapping between uh, agent and server. Under ACP, the life cycle of the agent is as follows. First, it has to be configured with name, description, and metadata. Then it is discovered. Discovery can happen either online via API endpoint or offline via agent packages. Then the agent is deployed. For deployment, it can either use built-in SDK, which is what we'll see in a bit, or we can use an external server, could be an HTTP server. And finally, it is executed. The agent execution under ACP can either be synchronous, asynchronous, or in a streaming fashion. ACP has a client server architecture where it has a ACP client talking to the ACP server, which has the agents embedded within, and this protocol is REST. The ACP server is in the ACP SDK uh, server package. ACP client is in the ACP SDK client package. The agent calls can also be chained one after the other, or you can use a router agent for hierarchical execution. For that, you need to use the fast ACP package, and typically you'll use agent collection and ACP calling agent in there. With ACP, you can also use MCP, and it will be using this standard IO server parameters and then the tool collection and tool calling agent from the small agent package. We'll do some hands-on. So all this code, as always, is on my GitHub. So you can head over to this GitHub and you'll see all the code that we'll just see in a bit. So for this particular example, I have used uh, an agent using Crew AI. So using Crew AI, I have developed an agent and it's using a rack tool. So it's using some local uh, file and it's insurance coverage agent, which is going to tell you uh, um, your insurance, which is going to have task answering your insurance related questions. Okay. So this is a typical Crew AI agent, okay, using a tool, agent, and a task, okay, and finally it's built into a crew, okay. So for making it a ACP server, what do you need to do? I mean, first of all, you need to sort of import this async generator, the ACP SDK, the models and server, okay. Then we are going to use this async execution, okay. So you will first create a ACP server, okay, uh, and then uh, for this agent, the Crew AI agent that we have, we are just going to annotate it as a server agent, okay, and uh, inside this we are just going to embed our Crew AI workflow or Crew AI crew, so to say, right? And then we're going to start the server on the port 8001 in this case, okay. So once you sort of kick off this server, it will execute on your machine like this, right? So this one I have started on a port 8000, so that's where it will run, right? And then how do you communicate to it? So obviously you will communicate to it using the ACP client. Okay, so for the ACP client, again, it's in the ACP SDK client. Okay, I'm going to use the async execution, right? So for the client, you have to give this base URL, uh, and on that, I'm going to use the async execution. Sorry, synchronous execution here, right? So I'll kind of make a query, right? This is a policy agent, right? This is my question to the policy agent, and then whatever response I get, I'm going to print it. Okay, and then this execution I'm going to do with the async IO. So this call is synchronous, but I'm going to use the async IO to run it. Okay, just like we have the ACP client server, I'll just demonstrate how do you make it work with MCP. Okay, so basically now this is the same sort of the ACP server, right? Now to make it work with MCP, obviously you need the MCP, right? MCP package, and I'm going to use this standard IO server parameters, right? And for this particular execution, I'm going to use the small agent. So I'm going to use this small agents, tool calling agent and tool collection. Okay. So first I create standard IO server parameters, right? So this is one of the MCP servers that we developed in our previous videos, right? We are going to basically use that server. Okay. Again, you uh, embed this agent uh, in the ACP server agent, or annotated the ACP server agent annotation. Okay. Uh, Now, for this, you basically have to say tool collection from MCP, right? You give the server parameters, right? And you basically start this as, or create this, instantiate this as one of the tool collection. Okay. And then from the small agents package, you create a tool calling agent. Okay. Where the tool is basically a MCP server. Okay. And all this agent, right? This agent, which is a tool calling agent talking to MCP server, is annotated as a ACP server, or it's annotated as a agent of the ACP server, right? So that's why it will, when you run, it will run as within ACP server. So this agent is embedded within a ACP server, right? So then when you run, which is what we saw here, right? So this is basically the ACP with MCP server, which is what you run, right? And then how do you communicate to it? You basically communicate it with the uh, client. Okay, now this client is similar to the previous client, right? In fact, it's exactly like previous client, where we had uh, this client, right, with a base URL, and the client run synchronous, right? So it's exactly like the same, right? And then you execute. Okay, so good luck exploring ACP. And if you like the video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and looking forward to talking to you in next set of videos. Bye.